Oh, broken wall. That's about
15,000.
15,000. Oh, kitchen fire. Oh, that'll be about $6,000. Oh, lawsuit. Oh.
All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. My name is Brandon, and I'm a school principal from the U.S. state of Georgia. Looking at, obviously, another episode of SpongeBob SquarePants today. This one is one that has also been recommended quite a few times by viewers. It's called Tutor Sauce. It's from season 9, and that's just about all I know about it. Don't know what it's about. I imagine just from this still frame, it's going to feature SpongeBob driving, maybe he has a tutor, or maybe he is a tutor. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Just a reminder to subscribe to the channel. I mentioned on the last SpongeBob, a lot of viewers are not subscribed, but they tune in video after video to view my content, particularly these. So please go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, here we go.
And how is everything for you today, sir?
Oh, it's great. Just great.
Fine.
I just love this Krabby Patty.
Okay,
just meat?
always nice to hear.
My Krabby Patty is a Krabby Patty, and both buns are also Krabby Patties. So luxurious.
You must have paid 5 times the price of a regular patty for that.
No extra. It's the same low price as a regular Krabby Patty.
Salt.
Ah! Me eyes! What are you doing, Mr. Squidward? Ah!
I couldn't find the smelling salt, so I just used table salt.
Hey, my Krabby Patty is just a bun. And the 2 buns are also buns. Stale buns.
My patty tastes like sadness.
All right, that's enough. Patties with emotional flavors. It's 2 bits extra. Now pay at the register. What in Davy Jones' locker is going on in here, Mr. Squidward?
What do you think? SpongeBob's in one of his moods. He failed his boating exam again.
Well, we can't have...
Yeah, and you know, just based on the episodes you guys have recommended, I have seen almost all of them, in fact, have been SpongeBob at boating school. And yeah, he has failed his boating exam many, many times, but this time it appears to be affecting him somehow. I can't imagine that this hasn't happened many times before, but let's see what's going on here.
That. He's my best employee. Well, no offense. Melancholy and self-doubt are bad for business. Make a note of it. Avast there, lad! You're wasting your valuable tears, salting me patties with grief.
I'm sorry, Mr. Krabs. Oh, I can't even cry right.
There.
Poor SpongeBob.
Failing your driver's test is nothing to cry over.
Oh, I've been in driving school as long as I can remember, and I still don't have my license.
Yeah, that is kind of sad if you think about it that way. He says he's been in boating school as long as he can remember, and he still doesn't have his license. That is kind of sad when you think about it. He has, I guess, technically, this is season 9, and I guess from the first season, he's been in boating school. I'm not 100% sure on that. So he has been in boating school for quite a long time. But let's see what Mr. Krabs does here.
Do they charge you this driving school of yours?
Oh, about $100 a semester.
$100 a semester? Well, I can do it for double the price in half the time.
Oh, okay.
Sure, I taught me own daughter Pearl.
All right, so classic Mr. Krabs. So he is always looking for a way to make extra money. And, you know, I've kind of wondered about that before, if Mrs. Puff's school is a free school or if they charge fees or how much it is. And he says it's $100 per semester. So SpongeBob has spent quite a bit of money on boating school, I guess. And so Mr. Krabs hears this and he instantly thinks he's going to take advantage, either just by taking advantage of SpongeBob or by starting his own boating school. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
How to drive like a little angel.
Hi, Daddy. I need money for shoes.
Sure. Anything for me, little angel.
Forgot her name.
Thanks, Daddy.
Forgot her name. Yeah, and a whale, not a shark. Thank you all for pointing that out.
Are you sure about this, Mr. Krabs?
Why, I couldn't be surer, lad. You don't need a professional to teach you how to drive.
You know, Mr. Krabs, at boating school, Mrs.
Wipe that boating school malarkey out of your mind, son.
Yeah, and see, this is bad in kind of another way because he says, "Oh, you don't need a professional to teach you how to drive, but you do, I guess, if he wants the license." Mr. Krabs probably doesn't care whether SpongeBob has a license or not. He just doesn't want him to feel bad, so he'll make Krabby Patties the correct way without making them taste bad. So he's definitely got an ulterior motive here and doesn't care as much about SpongeBob, really. He just wants his employee back.
It's all a racket.
It is?
And that goes for every kind of schooling. Why, there ain't nothing truly important you can't learn on the streets with half a jigger of common sense and your own two claws. Now,
and, you know, I'm sort of divided on that. You know, there are things that, yes, you don't necessarily have to take a formal class in order to learn. He is right about that. But he says every kind of school is a racket, which it's not. There are some things that are, let's say, much more difficult to learn without formal education. And certainly anything that requires any sort of professional licensing, I mean, you have to go to school for that. See, I'm wondering where this is going to go. I mean, obviously, SpongeBob wants his license, not just to learn how to drive. And Mr. Krabs isn't going to be able to provide that license for him. So I'm wondering where this is going. And it is true that college tuition rates do appear to keep going up and up and up. You've probably heard about that. But depending on what you want to do, and what the requirements are, that's really what you want to think about when it comes to, okay, how do I want to learn this? He says you can learn things with your own two claws or however he said it. That is true in a lot of cases, but not for everything.
put her in gear.
Okay.
See how he does with Mr. Krabs. Yeah, that's what usually happens.
Rookie mistake, boy. Happens all the time.
It does?
No, but you got the right fire in your belly.
I do?
Yes. Well, you know what we need is a change of venue.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So, you know, I don't hate Mr. Krabs' methods so far. I'm so used to Mrs. Puff puffing up at that point. You know, he floors it, goes backwards, crashes into something, and then she puffs, and then he fails, and then that's kind of it. So he looks like he started to get mad there, but then he said change of venue. Kind of like that other episode. I think it's maybe Driven to Tears, maybe, but where she takes him out in the middle of nowhere and he kind of does well for a while. So maybe he's onto something here. Let's see.
That is just the ticket. Like every young person, the novice boater needs plenty of open, obstacle-free space and the freedom to make mistakes.
Yeah, the freedom to make mistakes. There's some truth to that. I don't remember having this experience as much, going to a large empty parking lot to learn how to drive. Many of you probably had that experience. Let me know in the comments if you had someone take you out here to learn how to drive.
Mr. Krabs, you're so wise.
Can't disagree with you there. All right, put her in gear.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Now let's see how he holds up. At first, he wasn't so mad, but he went backwards all the way into the Krusty Krab. And I see a lot of broken glass here. So I don't know what he's going to do at this point.
Rookie mistake, right?
I suppose so. Now slowly inch forward.
Hmm.
We'll check out the damage.
Inch, 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 inch,
Yeah.
inch.
Oh, no.
Oh, broken wall. That's about
15,000.
15,000. Oh, kitchen fire. Oh, that'll be about $6,000. Oh, lawsuit. Oh.
So he's surveying the damage. I'm like, that's pretty impressive that this can tell him that. And it says objects in mirror will be expensive instead of the normal or closer than they appear, you know. But he says he sees the broken wall, the kitchen fire, and then the lawsuit, because I don't know what that has to do with SpongeBob's driving, but Squidward hitting somebody that I guess is then going to sue. That's pretty funny.
Oh, that's a lot of zeros. Oh.
150 billion dollars, I think is what that said. That's a little crazy, but all right.
All right, Krabs, get a hold of yourself. You've been in worse faces than this.
Really?
Well, you stared down at Cannon's mouth, haven't you? Look at that face. Ugh. Is this the face of your final defeat? Is it, Krabs?
That's too much.
Now here's a place you should be comfortable with.
Oh, I'll say.
Just take a look around, boyo. Home sweet home. Nothing to make you twitchy and jumpy. Well, just the opposite, in fact. A place so soothing and sweet. Like a mother's gentle lullaby on a soft summer's night.
He's asleep. Comforted him too much.
Oh, brother. Let's start with something simple. A little trip down the street to Patrick's house.
Oh.
I'll have one Krabby Patty, please.
Okay.
Upsell!
Would you like fries with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Even when he gets catapulted into the roof of his own restaurant, he's lying there and he still says upsell, meaning try to sell additional items with the Krabby Patty. That's pretty typical, Mr. Krabs.
Better. Okay, that was just fine. But next time, wait until I say, put her into gear.
You missed one.
A simple trip to
I was kind of optimistic at first, but he's having just as much of a hard time as Mrs. Puff did, except he's continuing to try. And I'm wondering, I know surely he doesn't get a boating license out of this. I don't think Mr. Krabs could even give him that, but I'm like, how does this work out where he's able to function normally at work? I guess we'll find out.
Patrick's house. A line so straight and true.
Mr. Krabs, let's just leave the boat here and walk.
Well, we could do that. But you can't learn to drive without a boat.
Yeah.
Or can ye?
Got an idea.
You'll certainly learn the way of the road with this here top-of-the-line, state-of-the-art technological
Simulator?
simulator.
Yeah.
Now hand me one of them tokens. You need
1
your
cent.
protective headgear. Ready, drive.
I'm doing it, Mr. Krabs. I'm driving the boat. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
6th place.
Okay, so even in the video game, he manages to damage the restaurant. That's pretty funny. And 1 cent. What a deal. I would just stop at this point.
Hey, look, Mr. Krabs, I'm actually driving.
Great job, boy.
All right. And I always see, like, when he starts to go or when he starts to drive, there's always this kind of blank expression on his face, like he's just staring off at nothing and just driving. I don't understand that because he seems so conscientious and honest and wants to do the right thing, but he gets behind the wheel. It's like he doesn't even, he just steps on the gas, doesn't look, and just crashes into the nearest object. I don't know. It's just how he is, I guess. Gasoline.
Well, at least I didn't hit the Krusty Krab that time.
Oh, but they did. Oh man. I saw that gasoline truck. Now there is no Krusty Krab. Yeah, he had the place repaired, what, 6 or 7 times there and had, I guess, the entire thing rebuilt. I hope he had good insurance.
Saw that coming.
I'm sorry, Mr. Krabs. The fire in my belly has gone psh.
Oh, no. It's my fault. You've been going about this all wrong, boy. It's not a pampering you be needing. It's a bold and reckless display of confidence.
Oh, yeah.
You think when I was your age, I tiptoed around like a tadpole and a petunia?
You never.
That's right. My style was to dive in with both feet. Claws snapping.
Snapping.
Oh
my God.
Okay. So I didn't know that's what he meant. I thought he meant just like his attitude. Like if you remember the Mrs. Puff You're Fired, that drill sergeant guy who actually got SpongeBob to drive decently at first, because if I remember right, he was blindfolded, but then he could only do it blindfolded, and when he didn't have the blindfold on, he crashed. So maybe this is the right approach for SpongeBob. I mentioned before, I don't think any student's truly unteachable, like Mrs. Puff says that SpongeBob is, but a lot of students need a different approach, and maybe this is what he needs. But I probably wouldn't go, okay, it says one way, and it looks like an interstate highway. This doesn't look good, Mr. Krabs.
There she blows.
Oh, man.
The dreaded double roundabout.
Double roundabout?
Treacher road and on a bikini bottom. To your starboard you yield. To your port, they yield to you. And when you're in the middle, it's every man for himself.
No,
and the devil
every
take the
man for
rest.
himself.
I don't think I'm ready for this, Mr. Krabs.
Nonsense, boyo. All it takes is some confidence and a little coordination. Well, your little pet snail could do it.
Sure.
Oh, I thought you were just using Gary as a colorful example, Mr. Krabs.
Oh, he's colorful, all right, but he's also going to teach you how to drive.
Sure.
Go!
That's how he really can do it.
Attaboy!
He did
There
it.
you go, SpongeBob. Did you see how Gary did that?
Yeah, some of it.
Buck up, me boyo. It's your turn next.
My
All
turn?
right, let's see.
Gee, Mr. Krabs, you must really believe in me.
Not really.
Sir, is this your vehicle?
Well, yes. Yes, officer, it is.
Did I just see you let a snail negotiate this vehicle
Uh-oh.
through a dangerous intersection?
You sure did. I mean, you didn't. I mean, well, no. I mean, well, yes. I mean, look, it was just a friendly little example.
You gonna go to
But
jail
for
now?
example, I was teaching the lad to drive.
By putting a snail behind the wheel.
Well, I mean, really, he was more on top of the wheel.
Officer, I don't have the boating handbook with me.
Quiet, boy. Let me handle this.
Are you a licensed driving instructor, sir?
Well, no.
Uh-oh. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. So he wants to teach him to drive, but the whole reason that SpongeBob said he was upset is because he's been in boating school for so long and doesn't have his license, and Mr. Krabs can't give him a license. So I'm wondering, is he going to go to jail now? Because I've seen Mrs. Puff go to jail for far less than this. So I'm wondering, is he going to go to jail at this point?
But I taught me old little girl to drive, you see, and you understand. You have any kiddies of your own at home, officer?
No, I'm married to my job.
This ticket's coming out of your paycheck, boy.
Whoa! My first real traffic ticket.
Oh, this is going to require something more than money, sir.
Boating school?
What could be worse than spending money?
All right, class.
Yeah,
Please.
I knew it. I knew it. And I've seen him get sent to boating school before. I'm surprised he wasn't arrested. Like I said, I've seen Mrs. Puff here get arrested for far less and several times. So now I guess he's in boating school. I didn't know this episode would include boating school, but here we are. I don't know if it's almost over at this point, but here we are at boating school.
Say hello to our newest classmate, Mr. Krabs.
Mhm.
Don't worry, Mr. K. I'll show you the ropes.
All right, so I was right. That was the end, and we ended up with him back in boating school. I know surely he's probably thinking this was not worth it. I just should have tried to cheer SpongeBob up some other kind of way, but now he's in boating school again, and I remember seeing him in boating school before, and actually SpongeBob has said this before. I'll show you the ropes, because I guess of anybody else, he would know him if he's been in boating school for 9 seasons of the show now. So, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the video here. Thank you so much for recommending this one. I actually did enjoy this one quite a bit. It was pretty funny. I think in some ways, Mr. Krabs made some progress with SpongeBob, but in the end, of course, he's not able to give him a license. And also in the end, SpongeBob was not able to really get any better at driving, but hey, at least he tried. But I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you enjoyed it. Please continue to recommend specific episodes of SpongeBob as I continue to look through these. I do take all of these straight from your recommendations. But I'm going to leave the video there. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode of School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.